Breaking news. A Gambian migrant has been fatally killed in Spain. A Gambian teenager has been fatally shot and killed by the Spanish forces in the area of Gran Canaria. Another disheartening news from Spain is that the Republic of the Gambia is regarded as a safe haven for the homosexual community. Spain no longer considers the Republic of the Gambia as a hostile environment for the homosexual community. A nation inhabited by over 95% of Muslims is considered a safe haven for the homosexual community. But how did the Gambia arrive at this juncture? Why was the young Gambian teenage migrant fatally shot dead by the Spanish police? Could there be foul play? Let's take a deep dive. A very disturbing news has reached our head office in London from Canarian Weekly regarding a young Gambian migrant who was fatally gunned down in a tourist-infested area of Gran Canaria, Spain. A Gambian migrant was fatally shot by Spanish police earlier today after allegedly attempting to attack some passengers and rob a taxi driver with a knife outside Gran Canaria Airport. A 19-year-old man has been shot and killed by police outside Gran Canaria Airport after going on a violent rampage that saw him attempt to stab a taxi driver and threaten passengers inside the terminal with a knife. The incident unfolded at around 4:45 p.m. yesterday afternoon, Saturday, with the man, believed to be from Gambia, running through Terminal 2 out of control and armed with a knife, according to eyewitnesses. He reportedly first targeted a taxi driver, threatening him with the blade, before entering the terminal building, where he is said to have tried to attack another person. That individual escaped uninjured after falling to the ground while fleeing. The suspect then exited the terminal and was confronted by officers near a bus stop on the airport's internal road. In a statement, the National Police said the man lunged at officers with the weapon, prompting them to open fire. At least 5 officers were involved in the operation. According to reports, one officer stumbled and fell, and as the suspect moved to attack him, others opened fire to protect their colleague. Witnesses described chaotic scenes with several shots, believed to be 8 or 9, ringing out across the busy area. Travelers waiting for buses were seen running for cover. Video footage posted online captured the moment officers shouted for people to take shelter, saying, "Get inside, please!" The suspect was declared dead at the scene. His body left near the bus stop while police secured the area. Forensic teams, including members of the homicide unit and scientific police, carried out an investigation alongside a local judge and forensic examiner. The body was not removed until after 8 p.m. Local police from Telde assisted with road closures, while public transport was diverted to minimize disruption. Authorities have not confirmed a motive, but the police continue to investigate. Officers say the shooting followed protocol and was carried out in self-defense. The dramatic scenes have sparked concern among passengers and staff at one of Spain's busiest airports, with questions now being asked about how the man was able to enter the terminal armed and undetected. The Spanish authorities claim to have launched an investigation into the incident after the conclusion of whether this Gambian migrant was unfairly treated or illegally brought down by the officers involved. Another disheartening news from Spain is that the Gambia is seen as a safe haven for homosexuals. But before we get into that story, this is a humble request to please support our work by liking this video and subscribing to the African Pacific YouTube channel, a Gambian-owned channel looking into the happenings of the motherland that are often ignored by mainstream media. Please show your support by liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. The Gambia is regarded as a safe haven for the homosexual community. A Gambian asylum seeker reached out stating that he was ordered to leave Spain after his asylum on the basis of him being a homosexual was rejected by the Spanish authorities. He has now been ordered to leave the country of Spain. But why was his asylum rejected in the first place? This is directly linked to why the Gambia is regarded as a safe haven for the homosexual community. This is what happened. Sometimes some Gambian migrants in Europe make unwise decisions when seeking asylum. A young man who arrived in Spain via the backway was ordered to leave the country after his asylum application was denied. In his application, he claimed he was rejected by his family and community after engaging in sexual activity with another man in exchange for money to repay a debt. He said he fled to Spain out of fear of being killed or imprisoned. However, Spanish authorities found his story inconsistent. In the rejection letter, they stated, the applicant explained that He is not homosexual, but was experiencing severe financial difficulties and therefore agreed to have sex with another man in exchange for money. Even if the incident occurred as described, it is unlikely that someone who is not homosexual would agree to such an act without first exploring other means of obtaining money. Additionally, the Spanish authorities argued that the Gambia is no longer considered a hostile environment for homosexuals. They also questioned why he did not simply relocate to another village or town within the country to escape the threat from his community, as he claimed. This is a humble reminder to please like this video and subscribe to the African Pacific YouTube channel. Please show your support by liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. But why is the Gambia not considered a hostile environment for homosexuals? Spain does not regard the Gambia as a country hostile to homosexuals, largely due to the complex interplay of diplomatic relationships, selective migration policies, and the evolving human rights landscape in both countries. While the Gambia has laws criminalizing same-sex relations, with penalties that can include life imprisonment, Spain considers a broader context when assessing such matters. The Spanish government tends to differentiate between official legislation and the actual enforcement or social conditions on the ground, often placing emphasis on whether there is widespread systemic persecution. In the Gambia's case, while anti-LGBTQ+ laws exist, there is limited documented evidence of consistent state-sponsored campaigns targeting LGBTQ+ individuals, which influences Spain's perception. Statistical data supports this nuanced view. According to the International Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Trans and Intersex Association, ILGA 2023 report, although the Gambia maintains laws criminalizing homosexual conduct, the number of reported arrests or prosecutions has been relatively low in recent years compared to other African nations such as Nigeria or Uganda. Moreover, Spain's asylum acceptance rate for LGBTQ+ individuals from the Gambia is significantly lower than that for applicants from countries considered more overtly hostile. For instance, Eurostat data from 2022 shows that less than 20% of LGBTQ+-based asylum claims from Gambian nationals were accepted, while the acceptance rate for similar claims from Uganda or Cameroon exceeds 40%. Additionally, Spain's foreign policy often prioritizes bilateral cooperation and regional stability, especially with West African nations like the Gambia, a former British colony with growing diplomatic and economic ties to Spain. Public statements from Spanish officials rarely categorize the Gambia as a hostile country toward homosexuals, and there is a tendency to approach such issues through dialogue and development aid rather than public condemnation. This diplomatic approach, combined with a lack of overwhelming evidence of state-level persecution of LGBTQ+ individuals in the Gambia, contributes to Spain's stance of not officially classifying the country as hostile to homosexuals.
Shit!